Today on the Petchy's Corner, we're going to look at writing linear equations, and this is day one of the 2-day assignment that we have. So we're going to do some warm-up questions first. They're just great practice for SATs or other type of standardized tests. So we have, in the figure below, the large square contains two smaller squares. If the areas of the two smaller squares are 4 and 25, what is the sum of the perimeters of the two shaded rectangles? Well, we know if the two smaller squares, if the smaller one here has an area of 4, we know that this side's 2 and this side's 2. Same thing over here. If the area is 25, we know this is 5 and this is 5. Now, from here, we also know that this side is 2, right? And this side's going to be 5 and this side's going to be 2. We can kind of label what we know with how the diagram is set up. So we're looking, and this is 5 also. We're looking for the perimeter. The sum of the perimeters of the two shaded. So in this shaded region right here, if I add up 2, 5, 2, and 5, that gives me a perimeter of 14. This one right here, same thing. This is a 2 also. 2, 2, and 5 also gives us 14. I'm looking for the sum, so I add them together and I get 28. Our next problem is on geometry, so I have the diagram labeled. So we have AC is equal to 16. The measure of angle DAB is 60, so that makes this angle DBA 30. We're looking for the measure of angle of the segment BD. Now remember with the 30, 60, 90, the rule is that hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short, and the long is equal to root 3 times the short. So the short is kind of the K. So if I'm looking at this big triangle, this is 16, that's my 90. So my short, this would be 30 here. My short across from there is going to be half of that, so that's 8. Now, if I'm looking at this small triangle here, that's my hypotenuse here, right? And then I'm going to use another triangle. So then my across from my 30 is going to be half of that, which is 4. And then this is across from the 60, which is 4 root 3. So DB is equal to 4 root 3, which is letter H. So in this case, we had to use the big triangle, and then we had to use a little triangle as well, labeling the angles and the segments as we go. All right, let's get started with our lesson for today. We're going to do slope-intercept form, which again is seen a lot. You probably spent a lot of time with this in Algebra 1. It shows up in a lot of different courses, so we're going to make sure you're all set. So it says graph a line using slope-intercept form. Here's slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. The m is my slope. My b is my y-intercept. So the first thing I have to do in number 1 is put that in slope-intercept form, get y by itself. So my y-intercept right there is 2. Now my slope is -3 over 1. So I'm going to go down and to the right. So I go down 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. I can draw my line. Get my line tool, draw my line, arrows on the end. I'm all set. Just remember with slope, if my numerator is positive, you're going to go up. If it's negative, you're going to go down. Same thing with denominator. If positive, you're going to go to the right. If it's negative, you're going to go to the left. So it's kind of the way, that's the easiest way to get in graphing. In number 2, I have to divide everything by 3. So I have y is equal to -2 over 3x minus 2. My y-intercept is -2. I'm going to go down 2, right? Down 2, and then I'm going to go to the right 3. Down 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And if I want to go the other direction, because I want more than one point, I just go the opposite way. Up 2 to left 3. That's the same thing. Draw my line. Arrows on the end, because we know that lines are continuous. And then we're all set. Now, number 3, f of x is the function of x. It's the same thing when we're graphing as y is equal to. So in this case, my y-intercept is 0. There's nothing there. And my slope is equal to 1 or 1 over 1. So I'm going to start at 0. Again, my coefficient is really 1 there. I just don't write it. So I go up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. I could go down 1 to left 1. That one would be okay as well. Draw my line. Arrows on the end. Number 4, very similar. My y-intercept in this case is equal to 0. This time my slope is equal to -1. So -1 over +1. So I start at 0 and I go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1. Draw my line. And arrows on the end. Okay, so we have a couple more here. This y is equal to -3. That's a horizontal line. And if you look at 6, it's x is equal to 2. There's a way that we've used in the past that helps us identify the difference between a horizontal and vertical line. And it's this Vuxhoy. We call this Vuxhoy. So if it has a y equal to, it's a Hoy. That makes it a horizontal line. The slope is 0. That's what that O stands for, a 0. And then we know it's y is equal to a number. So y is equal to -3 is saying every time, anywhere here, my y value is equal to -3. So that is why I'm going to have a horizontal line right through there. And again, arrows on the end. That's a Hoy, a horizontal line. Vux is similar. X is equal to 2. So that means anywhere I have a value, my x value is always going to be 2. Now notice that that is an equal sign. That makes it a line. If I had a point is a coordinate like an xy. But when you have an equal sign, that's an equation, that's a line. So you want to make sure that you are drawing your line. So there's my vertical line. Again, my Vux, vertical line, the slope is undefined when you're asked, and it's always x is equal to a number. Easy way to remember it. All right, this time we're going to write the equation. We're going to go backwards, okay? So my y-intercept is -2. Y-intercept is equal to -2. First of all, this is bottom left here to upper right, so I know it's going to be positive. I need to find a point that goes through the corner of the box, and it looks like I'm going up 1 to the right 2. So up 1 is positive, to the right 2 is positive, so my equation, the line, is y is equal to mx, so my slope, -2. That's it. Same thing with number 8. We'll do the same idea. I have my y-intercept is 5. I need to find another point that goes through the corner of the box. This one's a good one. And I can go, again, always start to the point to the left. It's the easiest way to count them, I think. So you're going to go up 2 to the right 1. So my slope is up 2 to the right 1. So my slope will be, my equation of the line is y is equal to 2x plus 5. All right, next example here. Again, same idea, y-intercept is equal to +3. And then I want to say it's going to, there it goes into the corner of the box. Now this is a negative slope. I'm going to go down 1 to the right 3. So my slope is down 1, which is negative, to the right 3, which is positive. Now this is a negative slope. We said when we started negative slope, upper left, bottom right. So y is equal to -1/3 x plus 3. Number 10, my y-intercept is right at the origin. So my y-intercept is equal to 0. And if I try to figure out, looks like I'm going through the corner of the box here. So again, starting at the point to the left, I go up 2, 3, 4, 5, up 5. And then from this point to get to the other point, I'm going 1, 2, 3, over 3. So y is equal to 5 over 3x. I don't need that plus 0. That's fine. All set. Okay, so there's some graphing. You just really want to pay attention. This is early in the year, so you really want to make sure you kind of master the skill early and remember it because it's going to show up again. All right, now we're going to use some point slope form. This is the point slope form here. So if I have a point, this would be x1 and y1. So when we use point slope form, I like to say it's just a working equation. I can't graph with it, but I can certainly work with it so that it helps me out. So I have y minus y1. There's my slope, x minus x1. Okay, so basically it's saying if I have a point and neither of them are y-intercepts, I can still find the equation of the line. I just don't know exactly. This could be kind of at a weird spot. I wouldn't know that. And my graphing, if I did it by hand, is going to be off a little bit. So we use point slope form. So there's my point, 6, -2, and then my slope is -4. So I substituted in y minus. So y minus -2 gives me y plus 2 is equal to, there's my slope, and I have x minus 6. All right, PS stands for point slope form. Now I do some algebra. So y plus 2 is equal to -4x plus 24. Bring that 2 to the other side, and y is equal to -4x plus 22. So this is SI form, slope-intercept form. So if I were going to graph that, I'd have to get to here. My 22 here would be my y-intercept, and my slope would be -4. All right, let's try another one. Write an equation line. There's my point, -3, 4. There's my slope. Write it in point slope form first, which is what I did. So I have y minus 4 is equal to -3/5 times the quantity of x plus 3. So I have y minus 4 is equal to -3/5x. Distribute that, I get -9/5. Now again, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. You can do that by hand or use your calculator. And I have y is equal to -3/5x plus 11/5, which is SI form, slope-intercept form. Now this is a little bit more than 2. So again, we would estimate that if we were graphing. All right, let's take a look at some more problems. Snow fell for 9 hours at a rate of 1/2 inch per hour. Before the snowstorm began, there were already 2 inches on the ground of 2 inches of snow on the ground. Write an equation that models the situation. Well, my rate of change is my slope, and it's changing at 1/2 inch per hour, right? My slope is 1/2 inch per hour. That's my rate of change. Now, my y-intercept, that's my starting point. So what did we start with? Well, we already had 2 inches on the ground. So let's see what we have. I have y is equal to my rate of change is 1/2. So 1/2 x plus 2 inches is my starting point. Now in this problem, this 9 hours, I thought I was going to use, but I don't need it, which sometimes happens. You don't have to use everything they give you. That was just some extra information. All right, let's take a look at our last one today. The Band Boosters are selling sandwiches for $5 each. They bought $1,160 in ingredients. Write an equation for the profit made, pay for end sandwiches. Okay, so my profit's going to be obviously my total that I make. Now my rate of change is going to be this $5, right? For every one I sell, I'm going to make $5. So $5 times the number that I sell. But I have to remember, I have to subtract out that $11.60. Well, why am I subtracting it? Well, that's what I have to pay for those ingredients. They don't come for free. So whatever I sell here times $5, and I'm going to subtract out my ingredients, and that will give me my profit.